Epictetus was a Greek-born Roman slave who became a renowned Stoic philosopher and teacher in the 1st and 2nd centuries Anno Domini. He was one of the main representatives of the late Stoicism, a school of philosophy that teaches how to live a virtuous and happy life. Epictetus did not write any books, but his lectures and conversations were recorded and preserved by his student Arion, who compiled them into 4 books, known as the Discourses, and a handbook known as the Enchiridion. These works are considered as classics of Stoic literature, and they have inspired and influenced many thinkers and writers throughout history. In this article, we will explore some of the main ideas and teachings of Epictetus's philosophy and how they can help us to live a better and more meaningful life. The dichotomy of control. The central concept of Epictetus's philosophy is the dichotomy of control, which is the distinction between the things that are within our control and the things that are not. According to Epictetus, the only things that are fully within our control are our own thoughts, opinions, judgments, and actions. Everything else, such as our body, health, wealth, reputation, relationships, and events, are either partially or completely outside our control and are subject to the laws of nature and fate. Epictetus teaches that we should focus our attention and energy on the things that are within our control and accept the things that are not with calmness and detachment. By doing so, we can avoid unnecessary stress, anxiety, anger, and frustration, and maintain a positive and rational attitude. We can also use the challenges and difficulties that we face as opportunities to practice and improve our virtues and to grow as human beings. Epictetus says, "Some things are up to us, and some are not up to us. Our opinions are up to us, and our impulses, desires, aversions, in short, whatever is our own doing. Our bodies are not up to us, nor are our possessions, our reputations, or our public offices, or, that is, whatever is not our own doing." The goal of life. According to Epictetus, the ultimate goal of human life is to achieve happiness, which he defines as the good flow of life, eudaimonia. Happiness is not dependent on external things, such as wealth, fame, power, or pleasure, but on our own inner state of mind. Happiness is attained by living in harmony with nature and by cultivating virtue, reason, and self-control. Epictetus argues that most people are unhappy because they pursue the wrong things and they neglect the true goods of life, which are the virtues. The virtues are the qualities that make us good human beings, and they are the same for everyone, regardless of their circumstances. The virtues are wisdom, the ability to use reason and logic to understand the nature of things and to make sound judgments and decisions. Courage, the ability to face and overcome fear, pain, danger, and adversity, and to act according to our values and principles. Justice, the ability to treat others fairly and kindly, and to respect their rights and dignity. Temperance, the ability to control our impulses and desires, and to moderate our actions and emotions. Epictetus advises us to practice and improve these virtues every day, and to measure our progress by our own standards, not by the opinions of others. He also reminds us that we should be grateful for what we have, and not to be greedy for what we do not have. He says, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." The role of reason and emotions. Epictetus is often misunderstood as a philosopher who advocates suppressing or ignoring our emotions and becoming cold and indifferent. However, this is not the case. Epictetus does not deny or reject emotions, but rather teaches us how to manage them in a healthy and constructive way. Epictetus recognizes that emotions are natural and inevitable, and that they have a useful function in our lives. However, Epictetus also warns us that emotions can be irrational and misleading, and that they can interfere with our ability to think clearly and act wisely. Therefore, Epictetus advises us to use reason and logic as our guide, and to examine and evaluate our emotions before we act on them. Epictetus distinguishes between 2 types of emotions: passions and feelings. Passions are the negative and destructive emotions, such as anger, fear, grief, and envy, that are caused by our false or distorted judgments about the things that are outside our control. Feelings are the positive and constructive emotions, such as joy, love, gratitude, and compassion, that are based on our true and rational judgments about the things that are within our control. Epictetus teaches us how to reduce and eliminate the passions, and how to cultivate and enhance the feelings by correcting and improving our judgments and perspectives. The art of living and dying. Epictetus's philosophy is not only a theory, but also a practice, an art of living and dying well. Epictetus believes that life is a gift and a responsibility, and that we should make the best use of it. He says, "Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better, to be a more discriminating and reflective person." Books are the training weights of the mind. They are very helpful, but it would be a bad mistake to suppose that one has made progress simply by having internalized their contents. Epictetus urges us to live in the present and not to dwell on the past or worry about the future. He says, "The present is the only thing that can ever be in our power." He also encourages us to live according to our nature and not to conform to the expectations or conventions of society. He says, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." Epictetus also teaches us how to face and embrace death, which he considers as a natural and inevitable part of life. He says, "Death is nothing terrible, but rather a release from the troubles of life." He advises us to be ready and willing to die at any moment, and not to fear or avoid it. He says, "I must die. Must I then die lamenting? I must be put in chains. Must I then also lament? I must go into exile. Does any man then hinder me from going with smiles and cheerfulness and contentment?" Conclusion. Epictetus is a philosopher who offers a practical and rational way of living that can help us to achieve happiness, virtue, and wisdom. Epictetus teaches us how to live in harmony with nature, how to focus on the things that are within our control, and how to manage our emotions in a healthy and constructive way. By applying the principles and practices of Epictetus's philosophy, we can improve our character and behavior and live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to get notified of new videos. I'd appreciate your comments and suggestions. Don't miss other interesting videos on my channel. See you next time.